All right, you guys are saying it's fine. All right. Well, what is going on, people of the Smart House Society? Matt here from MK-SmartHouse.com. And so in this live stream, we're going to be talking about this new firmware that I wrote for my devices because some of you guys were complaining about the Arduino IDE and how you some of like the libraries weren't working, stuff wasn't working. So I made it even simpler, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the biggest thing now is you set it up from your phone. And we'll also be talking like any questions you guys have. I'll answer all those. Some channel updates, seeing what you guys write in the chat. But before we get started, I'm just curious, where are you guys from? Like, what time zones? I know I saw some people saying that they were from India, Brazil. Shout out to Sam Gallen. Um, I like your hair. Thank you. All right. How do you say your name? Yogesh Warren, UK, 5 p.m. Canada, Belgium, Israel. All right. We got 24 people in. Nice. Oh, just so you're curious, I have my monitor here. This one has the chat. I have OBS here. This one has a live stream. And I have another monitor here that has some other stuff up. And then the camera is right there. Missouri. All right, so we got a few people from the US. All right. So I think I'm going to start by answering some of your questions first. I know, Yogesh, you asked, where was it? What my next project is? Well, there's a couple things that I'm working on. One of them has to do with the Sonoff. Actually, I have it right here, right there. There's a Sonoff in here, and then you got an you plug this in, and then you can control whatever the output is. It's one thing I'm working on. And then a company sent me these smart plugs, and so we can't keep it stock. A company called iClever. You can search them up on Amazon. They sent this, and so what I've done is I opened it up, and what do you know? Inside is a ESP8266. So I'm in the process of writing firmware for this, so that way you have like a nice enclosured outlet socket. Then another thing that I'm working on is the power strip. I never showed you guys how to make the power strip. Oh, we got a subscriber. I never showed you guys how to make the power strip, how I control like my desk, how I controlled my TV setup in the demo video. So that's another thing those are a couple things that I'm working on. There's some more, but we'll just leave it at there. Where are most of your viewers based? All over the world, honestly. It's all over the world. If I pull up my YouTube analytics, it's going to show me that it's mostly US, UK, Germany. So the reason that I don't want to use the Clever software is because I want it to work with OpenHAB, and if I use the Clever software, then it's not compatible with OpenHAB. Because like the way that I want the smart home to work is with and also Home Assistant. So it's gonna work with OpenHAB and Home Assistant. The reason I want my own software is so that way everything is in one contained ecosystem. So I don't have to pull up the iClever app, the OpenHAB app, the Ring doorbell app. Everything is in one nice place. What is your day job? I'm in it right now. So my job is YouTube and MK-SmartHouse, Smart House Society. That's my income. That's how I support it. I'm also going to college, so Tesmoda is an awesome firmware for Sonoff. Yeah, I have personally haven't used it because I like writing my own stuff, but I've heard good things about it. Someone can write a binding for iClever to work with OpenHab. I mean, I don't know how to make bindings. I've never tried to. So I have no experience in that. So instead, I decided to write my own MQTT software because MQTT is really easy to work with. It works on the publish and subscribe basis. So just write a couple lines. If it sees this topic, then do this. Just gotta switch something here. But I love your stuff. You're amazing. Thank you. I've been in the smart home, like I've loved smart homes for such a long time, and I'm glad that I can help other people and share my experiences, share devices, so that because I want to grow the smart home ecosystem, like the smart home community. I want more people into smart homes. I want like every home that I walk into, I want to see a smart home. That's how I like to look at it. What are your future projects? I mean, the ones that I just showed you, but also I want to do some security system stuff so you can have like a code panel on the wall that's also MQTT based. Yogesh, you say timeline. What do you mean by timeline in OpenHab? Oh, also just as a quick note, there will be more Home Assistant videos coming. It's about the same thing as OpenHab. I think they have about the same features. It's just personal preference, which one you really like. All right. While Yogesh is replying what a timeline is, let's talk about the V2 firmware. So now on smart MK-SmartHouse.com/shop, every single device that you order, uh, I'll get to that. Every single device that you order will be pre-flashed. So if you get a DIY kit, if you get it assembled, the ESP8266 will be pre-flashed with this new firmware that I'm going to talk about, which is awesome. So that way there's even less things that you need to do. You literally just have to connect it to your Home Assistant or your OpenHab, which with this new firmware you also have full support with Home Assistant. So let me quickly plug it in and I'll show you how to set it up. So for my demo purposes, I just have a Node MCU plugged in to my computer. It has the new firmware running on it. Where's my phone? And so once you plug it in, you just go to settings, and then you go to your Wi-Fi, and then as you can see, it says MK blinds control and then some numbers. So the MK blinds control is the device, so that's the firmware that it's running, and then the numbers is the unique ID. So if I click it, or tap on it because it's a phone, it's connecting to the network on the Node MCU, ESP8266, whatever you want to call it. And then it's going to load up the control. It's still in the process of booting up. So that's one of the biggest advantages of firmware 2.0. It's running Wi-Fi Manager, so that way it stores the Wi-Fi on it and you can set it up that way. And pulls it up, you click configure Wi-Fi. I'll be making a video on the, well, I already made the video, but the video is going to be coming out on Monday. So you're going to see the entire process, or if you want, you can check out the written guide. It's in the description of this stream. And so you can download the firmware now if you want. If you have a blinds control, you can download it now and use the written guide to set it up. But the video guide will be coming out tomorrow. I'd have to finish editing it today. So at the top, you can select your Wi-Fi network, type in the password. And the big thing is it can scan for your Wi-Fi, so you don't need to type in the SSID. You have your hostname and MQTT ID, all your MQTT settings, which now has support for authentication. Oh, it's pretty bad to see, but you can download the firmware yourself and see it. It has support for authentication. So if your server requires a username and password, you now can use my devices with your server. And that's a big thank you to Coffee Headache on the MK-SmartHouse forum. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. If you're not on the MK-SmartHouse forum, join forum.mksmarthouse.com. And then the next one is the web updater. So this was like the firmware update in the previous firmware, but now there's also a status page, so you can see your MQTT, your subscribe topic, and your status topic. And another big feature, because some of you were also complaining that it was a little bit loud for you. Now if you set this false to true, the blinds move slowly and quietly. So there you go. There's the answer to the people who complained about that. So now it's for everybody. Anybody can get it. There's no excuses now. Increase my volume. Oh, is it too quiet? I'll talk closer to the mic. Sorry about that. All right. So Jimmy Jones said, I think you started this YouTube smart home type of content. Not really. I mean, I started watching Super House. Shout out to you. I also started watching Bro Automation. He was also in before me, I think. And then now there's a bunch of other people too. Timeline is showing many times of all items are in the on state graphical view. Huh. I don't know how to do that. Is this a binding that you're talking about, or is this using Hab panel, which just a little on the DL, guys, that's coming out too. Are you talking from like basic UI? Yogesh, can you be a little bit more specific? Is this something in the basic UI, or is this in like Hab panel and stuff? Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Okay. Could you please? Okay, I did. I'm trying to talk closer. I'm interested in checking out like smart home. I basically don't have much going on here. Basically, I just have Alexa View and a smart outlet, but wondering what would be a really good start. Do you have an OpenHAB? Oh, this is Scooter. Do you have any type of server that you're running? Do you have any type of... Oh, actually, no. You said you only have Alexa, and we lost a subscriber. Moment of silence. Let's see, Scooter. No. Okay. How are your technical skills? Have you used a Raspberry Pi before? Have you used... I'm curious. Because if not, then this is a great opportunity for you to learn. Alright, now we got a subscriber. I should probably turn that off because that's going to be annoying. Let's see. But if you guys have any questions on firmware v2, let me know in the chat too. Okay, so Scooter said I have a Pi but didn't do much with it. Okay. Well, what I recommend is installing OpenHAB, playing around. I have a guide on my channel. I take you through the complete process on Mac and Windows. And I kind of like OpenHAB. I've been playing around with Home Assistant lately, guys, but I really like OpenHAB. Like, to me, it's much easier to work with. So what I recommend for you, Scooter, is to get OpenHAB, install it, start playing around with it, and then once that's set up, I don't know, check out some stuff on I have some stuff on my store. I mean, Home Assistant or OpenHAB works. I gotta stop. Okay. Looking at the chat. What was I saying? So OpenHAB works with a lot of things. I have it set up with Chamberlain MyQ. It works with Plex. It works with a lot of different things. So I recommend either choosing OpenHAB or Home Assistant, installing that on a Raspberry Pi. I have guides for OpenHAB. And once that's set up, you can connect a bunch of different smart home stuff. And then if there's something that you like on my store, I have sprinkler system, blinds control, door sensor, fire sensor. Um, I'm also gonna have the power strip. I don't know. Let me know. What do you think about that idea? Following your video, okay. Following your videos, and I'm sure we can do it. I like the idea, but being at uni, I can't do a lot. Okay. MQTT doesn't work. Aaron, what do you mean MQTT? Are you talking about my new firmware? Because it works for me. Like, I can control my blinds right now. I got OpenHab, and then you guys will hear it. It works. Let's put it back to half. All right, Jacob, what percentage did you have it at? 19. Okay. I think that'd be cool for you to see some beginner project. Yes, I'm interested in OpenHab. Maybe I missed it. Let's see some beginner projects. What do you mean by beginner projects? Are you talking about like starting OpenHab from the beginning? I'm a little bit confused by that. Okay, have seen a video on YouTube. Just search OpenHab tutorial 6 timeline and basic UI. I tried. I couldn't make it. All right, Yogesh, I'll try that out. I'll write it down and I'll do it later. Let's see. Are you going to do more videos with video cameras for the smart home? Okay, funny you should say that. So I just received cameras. If you follow me on Instagram at MK-SmartHouse, I posted a picture showing 8 cameras. Oh, okay. So from AliExpress, I got 8-channel NVR with 1080p cameras. Oh, I gotta talk closer. 8-channel NVR with 8 IP cameras. So my plan is to show you guys how to set that up from the beginning, show you how to do like an RSTP viewer monitor. Like right now I have a monitor right here showing me the cameras. I'm also going to show you how to integrate that with Hab Panel, OpenHab, Home Assistant, Mac, Windows, show you the complete way to have IP cameras, because I haven't seen any guides on YouTube that show the complete way to do IP cameras. So yes, I am. Do you have good solution for scheduling dates, days, and hours based? That's Ohad. You asked that. Do you have a good solution for scheduling? For my OpenHab rule, I think this is the right way to answer your question. For my OpenHab rules, I just have a thing in the morning and at night. So I have it in the morning. I have it do the sprinkler system. I have it do the blinds, and then I also have it send me a couple notifications like telling me to wake up. I also have it turn on my desk using the new power strip that I'm going to release soon. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and also turn on the security system. And then at night, I just have it do the complete opposite. So it turns everything off. I think that's the way to answer your question. Let me know if there's another way, another answer you were looking for. MQTT couldn't load main class. What does that mean? Ooh. Aaron, are you using... Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. To install, if you already have a device, to update to this firmware, you can use the web updater page in your previous version 1 device. So if you had like a blinds control, you would go to its IP address /firmware, or its hostname.local/its firmware, and then type in your admin username and password. Actually, let me show you how to do that. Let me open up. Let's see here. Let me get a Chrome page. All right. So I'm going to share you my display capture. Okay, so this is what would you do this is what you would do if you already have the firmware version 1 installed on your computer. Let me cut to it. Actually, let me see if I can get my webcam above it. Nice. Okay. All right, so this is what you would do if you already have version 1 installed on your computer. So you'd go to either the host name of the device, http mk-blinds, and then you'd go /firmware. Wait for it to load. And then it's going to ask you for a username and password. So type in the username and password that you created when you set up the device, and it'll bring you here. And then you can choose the file. I already downloaded the file. So here's the new one right here. It's a bin file. That's the thing now. Instead of giving you guys the .ini Arduino file, I'm going to give you the bin file. So you would just click open, and then you click update, and it'll update to the newest firmware, and it will be running that. Now to reset your device, you can read how to do that in the written guide, which is linked in the description below. Now if you, oh, it just closed. If you don't have any firmware or the web updater isn't working, then just go to, let's see here. I have a link for this program in the links section of the guide. You need this program. It's called Node MCU Pi Flasher. And so with this, what you do is you select the serial port of your device, you browse for the firmware, you click on the bin file, you click open, make sure this is the baud rate, 115200, dual IO, yes, wipe all data, and then flash the Node MCU. I don't want to flash this one, so there's that. All right, let's see, Aaron, did that answer your question? All right, let's see here. Matt, your V1 firmware seems like no confirmation if your ESP-based devices already executed your command. Do you plan to include that in your V1? Okay, so that's the thing. With this new V2 firmware, there is two-way communication. So if you send a command to the blinds control, then once it executes the command, it'll send its current position back to you. So there is now two-way communication. Can you make a non-smart security camera system so it can interact with other smart devices? Yes. Actually, what do you mean by non-smart security camera system? Because with the camera system that I have, the only thing smart about it is it sends you an email when it detects motion. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to get that email. I'm using IFTTT, and that's going to trigger it in OpenHAB and other things, and then it's going to be like a chain of things it's going to do. How do you do MQTT OpenHAB projects with a Node MCU? I tried it many times, but it still doesn't work, just like a button or a temperature. Okay. So with the Node MCU, the Node MCU is just a development board with an ESP8266 on it. So people use Node MCU, ESP8266 interchangeably, but the actual device on it is the ESP. So the Node MCU, I just use this for development. This never goes into one of my actual projects. I have a blinds control over here. I got a blinds control here. And so this is a final product that I made. And so let me just open it up real quick and show you how it looks. So the ESP is on here. This is the final product. So that way you don't use this big development board Everything is on a nice PCB. You just connect a couple wires, and there you go. You can control your blinds. All right, you're saying that's all mine does. Well then, that should be good. I still haven't worked out everything with the security camera system, but once I do, you obviously I'll make a video on it. Because that's how my cameras are. They only send an email notification. That's it. They don't even send a push notification. About the scheduling, I'm talking about with UI that you or someone else can change easily. The best option I see is Google Calendar binding, but it is not so intuitive. I have to make a video on Google Calendar. I still haven't played around with that, but if you say that's good, then I'll try that. But the only thing that I can think of with scheduling, because with OpenHab, everything is very hard coded. So you would need some type of items to play around with each other. So if you had like 2 number items to have for like the time and the date and then the day, mainly just time. You could use for the scheduling, you can use an item and just change the numbers around. Aaron saying, please Google Calendar vid. I'm working on it. There's a couple videos I want to make before that, but I will look into it. Also, I want to get some Home Assistant stuff going too, because some people have been asking for that. Which software are you using to make PCB? I use Fritzing. I used Eagle before, but I feel it's more complicated. But with Fritzing, you just lay down the components in the breadboard, and then you just move the stuff on the PCB, and then you're done. You just send it over to either PCBWay or IT. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on that, designing your own custom MQTT to ESP8266 device. Alright, okay, thank you, but I want to make a really easy sketch my own just to send data from an ESP8266 to OpenHab via MQTT, and OpenHab would process it and whatever I want to let it process. That's basically what my door sensor does. When it detects that the door is open, it triggers stuff in OpenHab. Like it sends a notification to my security system. It sends it shows the state is open. So if you're interested in that, check out the door sensor video. Use that one. Okay. Another thing I should mention with the V2. For right now, I only have the blinds control V2 firmware, but I will release the V2 firmwares for the sprinkler system, the door sensors, all of them throughout the week. I have it on my calendar here that I'm gonna every single day of this week will be a new V2 firmware that will be released, and there will be a video for. So you guys will have videos, I hope, every single day this week. Let's see. Wait, what are you guys saying please for? I'm use IFTT with OpenHab for scheduling. How do you do that? Felipe, can you explain more about that? Maybe that'll help out some other people. Or start a thing in the MK-SmartHouse forum after you're done. forum.mksmarthouse.com. Why my OpenHab sitemaps don't work? That's a very general statement. When you say they don't work, what do you mean? Can you explain a little bit more? I'll try to help you out here. Can make guest login for OpenHab so that way I can give specific access to specific items to my friends. I need to look into that one because people have been asking about that one. For that one, I think Home Assistant is really easy for that, because with that one you have different people. This is what I'm assuming from the little time that I played around with Home Assistant. Also, if anybody here in the chat wants to get the Home Assistant item config for the blinds control, let me know and I will send it to you. So I would love to see a video about custom ESP8266 device. You guys, okay, so you guys do want to see a video on the device. I thought so. I put my sitemap in my Raspberry Pi, but OpenHab won't find it. Did you configure it in your sitemap, or like in your paper UI? When you go to paper UI and then you go to basic UI, did you specify which sitemap it wants to use? Check out my. Did you follow my video guides on that one? Just curious. I use Node-RED for scheduling. Okay. Um, if I'm building my own server based on OpenHab or Smart Home, will I be able to control it from the internet? And if yes, what I need to install as a gateway? If you use OpenHab, that is on a Raspberry Pi, and if you follow, okay, so if you install OpenHab, you just need to use OpenHab's software called myopenhab.org, which I have a video on too. So if you set up OpenHab, you just connect it to the cloud connector, which they call myopenhab.org, and then you can control it from your phone from anywhere in the world that has an internet connection and it's not blocked, but it's most of the time not blocked. I have a question. What hardware would you recommend for IR/RF devices? That's a tough one. I haven't really worked with RF devices. My personal belief is going with Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi is all over your house. If you watched my network video, you know that I have access points everywhere around my house and I have full coverage, because I believe in Wi-Fi should be everywhere. So in terms of IR and RF, I haven't really worked with too much. At one point, I did make an IR device to control my TV. It was with an ESP8266 and an IR blaster. But I mean, I've heard some good things about Logitech, but then I've also heard some not good things about it, like it's really slow. But personally, I haven't played around. You know, if Logitech, if you want to send me one, let me know. Has built this in. What is Jimmy Jones? What are you talking about? OpenHab has this built in. Oh, you're referencing somebody else's. Oh, okay. So you answered. You told him what I told him. Okay. Fresh City Ventures. How do I switch Arduino to the proper port? Mine is set to dev/cu.bluetooth. I installed the driver, reset my system. Still don't have the serial port. Anything. Switch my Arduino. So are you trying to flash an ESP8266? If so, I would check the connections between the ESP and the Arduino, and if try unplugging the Arduino and plugging it back in. Try that. Actually, I have a full write-up telling exactly why it wouldn't be connecting. I'll pull it up on the screen. Do I have it here? Because that's actually a common problem. A lot of people can't see their port, or they have the issue where it says can't access Node MCU or ESP. Let's see here. Yes, I specified, and yes, I followed your vids. I mean, this is kind of a basic one, but did you restart OpenHab? And is it the latest version of OpenHab? Can you make a full tutorial on how to make MQTT code? Are you talking about like a topic and what to put in the body of the topic? If so, then yeah, sure. I'll write that down. MQTT. Aaron said, is integration with smartwatches possible? Let's see. So if you have an Apple Watch, you can use the HomeKit and you can control it from the HomeKit app. You can also use Siri. But in terms of like a direct OpenHab app, there is none. And I don't believe, no, Home Assistant doesn't have one either. I only have an Apple Watch, so I couldn't tell you for Google, but I know if you have an Apple Watch, you can use HomeKit and you can use Siri. So that's how you can use a smartwatch. Ha, Aaron, you said not Apple. Well, I don't have a Google one, so I can't tell you. The Okay, so Fresh City Ventures said the Broadlink RM3 is a perfect IR/RF device. Works with Sonoff. All right, well, I have not used it, but I might check it out later. So I'll write that down. Okay. All right. Make a tutorial on importing icons and using it with OpenHab. I know how to do that. I will make a video on it. You have to go, just as a quick thing, you have to go to your images folder. With a Samba share, you go to your images folder, drag it there, and then just use the name of the image instead of in the little brackets. It's hard to explain. I'll make a video. Or email me, and I will tell you right away if it's like really important to you. Or no, don't email me. Don't email. Put it on the forum. Okay. Even with the ESP8266 unhooked, I still have the serial port as an option for the Arduino alone. Okay, Fresh City Ventures, are you using the Pi Flasher or are you using the Arduino IDE? Answer that one. I mean the Arduino code with MQTT. Okay, so like a full device. Okay. With the firmware that I wrote, the version 1, it's so easy. I made it such an easy template. The way with the V1, the way my V1 firmware worked was it would just connect to the server, and then it would just listen for messages at the bottom, and whatever the message was, you can say, if it equals this, then do this. So I made it a super easy template. That's the main reason I use that MQTT library. It makes stuff so easy. Also, can you make a temperature sensor? Yes. Yes, I can. And I'll make a device. I'll make that in a couple months, or maybe, we'll see. Why OpenHab, not Home Assistant? Any reason for the preference? I believe, so I started OpenHab a couple years ago, back when they still had their version 1. Not OpenHab 2, OpenHab 1. So I go way back with OpenHab. The reason at the time that I selected OpenHab was because OpenHab had the apps for iOS and Android. And Home Assistant, oh, I should probably talk closer. And Home Assistant did not have any apps for the mobile devices. So for me, that was a turnoff because I wanted a full system. But now Home Assistant does have mobile apps. They're okay. But I liked OpenHab for that main reason. And ever since then, I've sticked with OpenHab and I've liked it because it's simple. They have three files. You have your items file, your sitemap file, and your rules file. And you just need those 3 files. Well, in Home Assistant, there's a lot more files. Yes, it's a little bit more customizable and it looks better right out of the box, but I don't know. Now, personally, it comes just down to personal preference. Which one looks good to you, which one you feel. I mean, I'll make a full video describing the differences between the two in the future, but right, they're both good. They're both good. I like them both. Is it possible to control Apple TV from OpenHab? I don't know. I will look that up later. Fresh City Ventures Arduino ID. Oh, okay, hold on. Did you find that right up? You were looking up regarding my ESP8266 connection. I'm sure it's so simple. Yes, sorry for that. Not working. Let's see. I forget what I named the document. Just curious, what do you guys think of this stream so far? This stream idea, what do you guys think? Let me know. All right, there we go. So, Fresh City Ventures, are you getting an... Okay, so I just gotta... Okay, I gotta talk closer. Fresh City Ventures, are you getting the ESPCOM fail error? If so, then this document will help you. Hold on, let me show you. All right, webcam. Let me shrink my webcam and then I'll show you my screen. Oh, I also gotta increase the size. All right, there you go. There's the document. So those are the few things that I found, because I was getting many emails of people asking, like, oh, I get the ESPCOM fail. So I created a document. Here are a couple things that I found worked. Okay. Let's see. Can you make a video about sitemap protection with passwords? You mean access the sitemap from a password from like your OpenApp app or the configuration? Like if when you type in the IP address? I've looked that up and I don't know the answer, honestly. I've also went on some forums and there really isn't stuff unless you do. Yeah, I don't know about protection. Do you know if anybody's figured out protection on that and you just want clarification on how to do it? Let me know. A+, thank you. I've also been trying to find out how to use an IP camera with OpenHAB, but I can't find a good explanation or video. I know, me too. I've looked at some, but I can't find anything too well, so I will make a guide on it eventually. So many guides. What is your age? How old do you think I am? And then I'll tell you. Great idea on stream. Also saves you time by having a quick response to questions rather than email. Do you guys think I should do this weekly? Like every week I'll answer a bunch of questions you guys have. I mean, I've seen the stream peak at 30 viewers, which I think is pretty good for the size of my channel. But let me know. I've also actually, let me play you guys something real quick. This is my new intro that I worked on yesterday. This is not like the completed intro, but it's a start. Where is it? I wonder if volume's gonna work. Oopsies. Where is the... Alright, we'll go back to your... Alright, so what do you guys think of that intro? So there was and if you have any questions on the intro, let me know, because there's a few things I need to talk about it. Not bad. Make it just okay. Oh my god, these comments. Let's see. Not bad. Would it be better if I didn't have my 3-year-old climbing on me, begging me to change the YouTube channel to Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom? Aw, sorry. Arduino 1.85 Mac OS 10 board Arduino. Okay, well then there's your problem. You can't have the board to Arduino / the Arduino. You need to have the board set to ESP8266. So I'll show you real quick. Oh, keep swiping over there. So when you're in the Arduino IDE, where is Arduino? Oh, I don't know why Siri activated. But when you're, it's launching. I'm gonna let Arduino launch. Uh, I'll show you how to do that. Fresh City Ventures. 19, you're 20, 21. Yes, weekly. Okay, Aaron. Okay, Aaron. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Aaron because he's been a long time supporter. So shout out to you, man. I see your comments. I see your emails. I see your purchases on my store too. Thank you so much. You you really support me, and I appreciate it because every single purchase on the store, that's my income. That's my living. So thank you, dude. 24. Weekly or monthly? We'll see. Yes, do this more often. Yes, weekly. It could be useful to a lot of people in one shot. Yeah. 23 every week. Monthly might do. I think I might do monthly because if you guys saw in that intro, I mentioned smart home news. So I want to start doing that too. Like if there's some new stuff that happens in the smart home, I want to report on it. Whatever. Shout out there's okay, even if you say it's not me, shout out to Aaron. There's a shout out. Um I don't have the protection to do so. For example, every user has a customized sitemap. Yeah, OpenHab can't do that. It can't have a customized sitemap. I gotta stop looking here. I gotta start looking here. I'll take this down now. I'll have to play around with it, but I don't believe OpenHab can have customized ones. I know Home Assistant can. Actually, I'm not too sure if they can, but I'm pretty sure it can. If you do a quick Google search, you'll find out. And I'll be playing around with it. I'm still new to Home Assistant. I'm mainly an OpenHab person. Make tutorial on Hab Panel. That's coming. Nice. So how old are you? I'm 18. Is it possible to check usage history of items in OpenHab? If you go through the log files, you can, but it's not that easy. Like in Home Assistant, it's really easy. It shows you a complete timeline of when a device was turned on, how many times it was turned on. That's one thing that Home Assistant does have. It has a great analytics factor. Live stream monthly and new videos weekly. I like that idea, Kenneth. I like that idea. Setting up a weekly/monthly live stream with a set of topics to cover would be a good idea in my opinion. This would allow your viewers to decide if it is something they watch live or watch at a later time. Okay. That's a good idea. Thank you, Eric. I just managed to add my D-Link DSC930L to show up in my PC sitemap, but not my phone. Is that a router, or is that some kind of NAS? So everyone thought you were older. That comment? Yeah, yeah, it is. It's not mainly on like, it's mainly on what I know. People think I've get some emails. People are like, "Oh, what did you study in college? Where did you graduate? What year?" Nope. Just going into college now and taught most of this stuff myself. That's the camera. Okay. So did you use for the D-Link camera? Now I'm interested. For the D-Link camera, did you use um, a binding or did you use like a general IP binding? Because I know for OpenHab there is a new IP binding for IP cameras. I haven't used it yet because it's not official by OpenHab. They didn't put it in their software, but I know it's a thing. Did you use that, or does D-Link have its own binding? Home Assistant versus OpenHab. Oh, that's a long. Let me get a little bit comfortable with Home Assistant. Let me get to know it a little bit, and then I will make a complete video. Because OpenHab, I have like 2 or 3 years, maybe even 4 years of experience with OpenHab. And Home Assistant, I installed it like a couple months ago. And I just started playing with it. couple months ago too. Can I use AVM gear as access points, not as repeaters? And is there a difference? What is AVM gear? Let's Google this. AVM gear. Oh, we're at 31 viewers. Aaron, I can't find anything on like AVM gear. What is that? Well, let's see if Aaron will get back to us. I meant routers, etc. from AVM. Any router can be used as access points. Not as repeaters. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you mean that you don't want it to use the same Wi-Fi network and you want it to use a different one. So every router can be a repeater and it can be an access point. It depends on what cable you plug it in. For example, if you take the Ethernet cable and plug it into that router's WAN port, it'll be like its own separate network. So it'll be its own access point, if you want to call it. It'll be its own network. But if you plug it into a LAN port on the router, then it'll act as a repeater and continue on your current network. It also depends on how you do your SSIDs. All right. Jimmy Jones says, look on the first link on Google. I did. They're just speakers. So that's not what we're looking at. I used WebView in my sitemap. Oh. That's a good point. That's a very good point. I'm going to write that down. WebView. I don't know, Aaron, did I answer your question? How do you have it set it up? How did you set it up now is my question. WebView. Okay, who said WebView again? Let's see. Eskil. If I use that, I'll give you a shout out, man. Do you know ESP Easy for Node MCU? Yes, I do. So good funny thing. I used ESP Easy on this device that iClever sent out to me. By the way, if you guys want to send me stuff, my address is on my channel about page. Just if you want to, I'll feature it on my channel. So iClever sent this out to me, and so I saw it was an ESP. The first thing I did was install ESP Easy onto it, because with ESP Easy, you can control every single input and output on the ESP. So what I did was I went through process of elimination, found which ones were inputs and which ones were outputs. I found that 2 of the pins were outputs and they controlled the ring inside it and the relay inside it. And then I also found out that one of the pins was the input, and that's the button over here. So now when I write my own custom firmware, I know exactly which pins are which and I can easily control it. All right, let's see. Any recommendation for pushing an image from a Snapchat or MJPEG stream from an IP camera to Android phone? Would prefer conversion to GIF if possible before pushing. Wow, that's a big request. That's a request. For pushing an image. That's a great idea, first of all. That's a really good idea. I don't know how to do that. But what are you trying to do is my question. Are you trying to have like a notification, or are you trying to get an email? Yeah, is it just going to be like a notification showing the GIF or something? GIF, what? Let me know how you say it. All right, thanks. How do I check if the CH430 driver is properly installed on my Mac? You can go to, I'll show you. See, those are speakers, the first link. If you go to, oh, actually, I can't open that because that has my serial number and stuff. Go to About This Mac, System Information, and go to the device manager and see the USB devices. If you can see your USB device, then that's a good sign. By the way, mate, I recommend to connect the Pi by Wi-Fi with a small program. It's better than having the cable. Maybe you could explain it to do how to do. Okay, so what I'm assuming you're gonna say, you're saying is to show people how to connect it by Wi-Fi. See, that's the thing with Wi-Fi. I really don't like. If you can connect by wire, it's always great. I know all these smart home people preach connect everything by wire. I know Superhouse likes to use all of his wall panel things with Ethernet, but I personally think that's too much because I think Wi-Fi is stable enough where you can use it as a switch. Like the Belkin Wemo, that's what I use for my light switch currently before I make my own device. And I think it works great. It's always on, always works. It's good. But with the Pi, that's your server, man. I wouldn't recommend doing that with Wi-Fi. You need that stable. You need to always be able to SSH. Because with Wi-Fi, you sometimes, when you reboot the router, you sometimes turn it on and off, and then you lose connection. Is the audio loud enough? Because some people are texting me that are watching the stream. They're telling me it's not loud enough. I don't know. Maybe it's just them. You know who you are. Oh, I scrolled too much. I have two sawn off and an old computer. Can I use the old computer to install OpenApp? Yes, you can. I personally have never installed it on an old computer just because I find the Raspberry Pi it's cheap and low power and you can set it and forget it basically. But with an old computer, to get started, yes, you can. I personally have never done it, but it should be pretty similar. I know that there's some guides on the internet that you can follow. And with the two Sonoff, which Sonoff versions are they? Because if they're the dual, then you can use my firmware that I made. Or you can use Tasmoda or ESP Easy. But Tasmoda is pretty good, I think. Where can you send improvements to OpenHub team? I don't know. It's a good question. I bet you that improvements. I lied. I actually do know. Go on their forum. I forget what the URL is, but go to the OpenApp forum. Post something there. Somebody will reply to you. Kai might even reply to you. Let's see. I have one router basic and an MVM repeater for an extra router acting like a repeater, but I don't want to have one big network, but 3 ones, so I always have to reconnect. But I don't have one big network, but 3 different ones, so I want to, okay. So what you want to do is follow what actually, no, you can't. Okay. What you want to do, and I'm answering Aaron's question, by the way. So he's saying that he connected 3 routers together and they're creating 3 different networks. So what I'm assuming you did is you plugged from the main router, you connected to the 2 smaller routers, but you connected from LAN to WAN. What you want to do is connect from LAN to LAN, disable the DHCP settings on one of the routers, and make the DNS go to the main or the IP, make it a static IP off of the main router. Notification when someone steps on my pressure map. That's basically a door sensor, honestly. Do you have that device already made? Is that a pre-made device? You want me to make it? Let me know. Aaron Warnke. Damn, there's 2 Aarons now. So Aaron W. All right. Eskil is telling us more on what he did in his sitemap. Thank you. Oh man, comments are coming in. I had a Vera controller that used the service for sending images. Worked pretty cool. Oh. Use the service for sending images. Vera alerts. Were those push notifications? How can I use GPIO pin for the light switch? I have a video for the GPIO binding in OpenHab. So if you go to my channel, type in GPIO binding, you'll find exactly. I have a button, I have a door sensor, the relays, all of that running off of the Raspberry Pi. So check out that video. That'll answer all your questions. And if it doesn't, come back here. Actually, no, go watch that after the stream is done. How can I use GPIO pin for the light? Oh, I just answered that. Well, I connected my Pi by Wi-Fi because I got the fiber, so 200 giga, so I'm fine like that. Haha. But it's still Wi-Fi for your main server? Do you really want to do that? Is there a way to add password in OpenHab webpage access? Okay, I answered this one already. I don't know, and I don't believe so. Unless... No, I don't believe so. If any of you guys haven't gotten the Smart House Society clothing, you totally should. It's awesome, and there's a coupon, so even better. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Julia. That's actually a good point. If you guys haven't already and want to support the channel, check out smarthousesociety.com. That's where I have some shirts, some hoodies, some hats. What I wanted to do with Smart House Society was make a clothing so that way we can all come together. What I call Smart House Society is you guys, the entire society of people who like smart homes and smart houses. So what I wanted to do was create a piece of clothing to show that I'm part of the Smart House Society. And on some of them, it even says elite member on the back. So people are like, whoa, you're an elite member? Yeah, of the Smart House Society. So check it out. And there, I give you guys a 15% off coupon. Just use the coupon code ELITE at checkout. Little plug right there. Let me know. Actually, that's a good point. What do you guys think of Smart House Society? Because I personally like it, but I want to hear your opinions. And be honest. Be honest. I don't need a bunch of yes people. Be honest. What do you guys think? What do you think of the designs? Do you think I should have a different design? Let me know. Honest opinions, please. Could you make a tutorial on how to program MQTT? Because I know how to program on C++ Arduino, but I've gotten zero knowledge about MQTT at all. I did my OpenHab because your tutorial on the internet. Cheers, by the way. Thank you. I love those types of comments. MQTT, in terms of Arduino, it's really simple. Actually, I can even show you guys in this right now. Let me just quickly minimize this. So this is how MQTT works. I didn't expect to do this today, but all right. So this is how MQTT works. It subscribes to a topic. Oh, actually, I forgot to cut the camera. All right, so I got my Arduino IDE open. So what MQTT does is it subscribes to a topic. When it subscribes to a topic, it listens for commands off of that topic. So if I say C1 on, it'll turn on channel 1. And if I subscribe to another topic, I get the statuses. That was a little bit complicated, but let me explain. This is how you would do it in Arduino. This is for sending commands to a device because this is the blinds control. So here is the subscribe topic. This is to what it listens for commands. So it looks for the on, it looks for the off. And this is all using this MQTT client library. I have a link to the exact one that I use in the door sensor videos. And then this is all just basic stuff. And then this is the real part that you want to worry about when you do MQTT, the message received. So it receives something called the message, the payload, and then I set that to a string. And then I just say if message string is up, move the servo to 0. It's really simple. So if you say, green, and if you have like an LED strip, make this set it to green. So it's just a bunch of if statements and comparing strings. All right. That was just a quick little. I'll make a in-depth video in the future. If, yeah, I'll make a video in the future. All right, let's see here. Nico, did that answer your question just to get you started, or are there any specific questions you have? Let me know. Are you going away to college this year? Nope. I mean, I'm going to college, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going far, so I'm still going to be at home, so I can still make videos for you guys. Because if I did go away to college, I wouldn't have a house to work on, and I wouldn't have the amount of space that I have, which is what I need to ship your guys' order, which you can get at smarthouse.com/shop. And you can get 10% off if you use code V2. And if you do place an order, you get a pre-flash device and 10% off. If that's not a deal, I don't know what is. Fresh City says, say hi to Julia for me. Julia, Fresh City says hi. I want to connect my pressure map to get a push notification in a short video or a GIF from my IP camera. That sounds really cool. Now, I feel like that's only an Samsung. I mean, not Samsung. Whoa, Android thing. Because on iPhones, you can't get like GIFs and stuff. I haven't used an Android in forever. I mean, I have an Android right here. I have a Samsung Galaxy S3. So that shows how long since I used one. But I don't know how fast I'll get back to you. But I'll do that at one point. Or maybe someone else in the chat knows. But I feel you could do that with IFTT, no? Like IFTT send you a message, push notification. See if have you tried IFTT? Maybe they have something that'll help you. I've got 200 megabits fiber as well, but I would never leave my entire Home Assistant server to Wi-Fi. I'm telling you, like, oh, Fresh City, you're on Home Assistant? That's cool. Or are you Home Automation server? I never know what it says with HA. The MQTT easy template you talked about, which project is that? The one that I pulled up, that was Blinds Control firmware version 1. So if you go to the link in the description and go to the links button, you can download the V1 firmware. It's really hard to navigate as far as finding tutorials. That was said by Chad. I mean, it's so hard to structure tutorials. I will. Wait, are you talking about my website or are you talking about the YouTube channel? Because the YouTube channel, there's nothing I can do. I have playlists and videos and stuff. But if you're talking about the website, if you have a better idea, let me know. Because the way that we have it now is the best way that I personally thought we could do it. But if you have a better idea, I'd be so down. Let me know. Haven't visited the site since you launched it. Is there a reason it isn't on MK-SmartHouse? Is it because you wanted a more generic clothing? Yes, Smart House Society is a different brand altogether because with MK-SmartHouse, I wanted to keep it with just devices and guides. So I put Smart House Society. The clothing is smarthousesociety.com. And I wanted to do that as its own page. Also with the back end stuff, it was easier to do on its own site. Yeah, well, I read your code, I understood it, but just the program part of MQTT to connect to the client and all of that blah blah, that I didn't get which line does that. Sorry, it's messy. Connect to the client and all of that. Oh, are you meaning saying connect to the server? Like connect to the server? It connects to the server right here. Oh, I forgot to cut it. Sorry. It connects to the server right here and here. and also up here. So that's that. Yeah, with my code, what I did was I assumed that people wouldn't look at it, and I assumed that they would just flash it. So I didn't comment or stuff. I know, bad habit. I worked as a software engineer for 2 years, and I commented everything. And then when I got to my own stuff, I didn't really comment. You can search for Visual Studio Code Open App. It's cool to edit sitemaps and items. So I have thought about doing. So when I originally started this channel and how to do all the guides and sitemaps and stuff, I did think, do I want to tell people how to do it from a Samba share? And if I did, that would mean it would be more complicated, because if you do it on Mac, it's different, and if you do it on Windows, it's different. So the reason I have everything edited through the command line is that way it's universal. So Mac people, Linux people, Windows people, it looks all the same for all of them, and I can just do one video, because there's a lot of things that I want to cover on my channel. If I have to make videos for every single software, and it's kind of a lot. Hey, shout out to Botatech. BRTQ1337. Shout out to you, man. Not sure, but I think you should. Your shop page is broken. Which shop? Are we talking about MK-SmartHouse? Let me pop open a new window. Oh, actually, I have a window. Let's see. I'll make it smaller. All right, I'm gonna go to my shop live with you guys. So if you go to public. All right, so we're gonna go to MK-SmartHouse.com. Then we're gonna go to the shop. I'm live streaming, so it's slower for me. It's loading. Oh, if you see this, how it's not loading the shop right now, it's because it's loading. It loads the shop last. See, it's loading. It's loading. I'm streaming, so it's really clogging up my internet. But there you go. The shop is loaded here. You can get your blinds control, LED strip, sprinkler system, door sensor, fire sensor. Or do you mean it's broken that it won't let you check out or something? I mean, let me know. And then let's check Smart House Society real quick, because I don't know which one you were talking about. SmartHouseSociety.com. Alright, well, that's loading because the internet. I'm streaming at 1080p, so. Oh god, I missed a lot. Please tell me how to open up the rules so that when the button is pressed, the relay is turned on or off. There you go. It works. The store is up. What do you mean? I'm answering. Oh, I can't read that. That's in a different language. You said, please tell me how to open up the rules so that way when the button is pressed, the relay is turned on or off. So what I would do is look at my door sensor video and then look at the like sprinkler system video. That one too. That one has relays. But essentially what you want to do is read the status of the door, or wait, hold on. You have switch, and if that goes, then control the relay. So send command. If you watch the door sensor video and you look at the sprinkler system video, you should see the correlation. Oh, shoot. I forgot to cut it. Sorry, guys. The store does work on MK-SmartHouse.com, so answering that comment. It does load. It does work. It's up. You just have to wait a little bit. And Smart House Society is up. Any plan on sending urgent alarms via 2G SMS to reach you remotely faster? I haven't thought about it. I mean, that's a lie. I have thought about it. Somebody did want a video on it. I just haven't really looked into it because for me, Wi-Fi works fine. Maybe in the future. There's so many things you can do with smart homes nowadays. Like, There's so many things. You guys have so many great ideas too. And if you have ideas, go to forum.mksmarthouse.com, and there is a topic there where you can post your video ideas, and that's where I get some of my ideas. Like for example, man, what's the video I covered? The update OpenHab. That one was a idea you guys had. Yeah, there was a couple of videos that you guys had. Let's see here. What if one ESP you want to subscribe to a topic but also be able to send something back to the server to update the state of it? That's my V2 firmware. My V2 firmware basically does that. But I haven't released the code for that. And I don't know if I will. I probably will. I just haven't got it. I want to clean it up first. I'll try to release it. Actually, email me and I'll send it to you. Contact at MK-SmartHouse.com. Why do you not use WordPress for your website? I don't use WordPress for my website because my website has a lot of e-commerce built into it. Actually, let's ask my website designer. Why don't I use WordPress?
Because you said not to use WordPress.
Okay. I don't use WordPress because it doesn't have the e-commerce features that I want. I control my light by OpenHab, but I also add a tactile button on my wall. So if I touch the button, it's switch on the light, but also from Alexa, so I update the state. But also from Alexa, so I update the state, that button from 2 different entry. Wait, Nico, what are you using as your light? Are you using a bulb or something? Isn't on screen. Yeah, Jimmy Jones. I know. I realized that too late. I can't get access to anything in the MK-SmartHouse shop. I only get recommended products. Okay, let's see. So we're clicking on a blinds control. Oh, let me quickly explain the blinds control while we're here. So you have different versions of assembly. So you can either get a DIY kit where you are going to put it together yourself, assembled, where it'll come assembled to you. You literally just have to plug it in and connect it to OpenHab and you're done. You have DIY kit plus 2 servos and parts. So this is a DIY kit, but you get 2 extra servos. So you get a total of 3 servos. So you can control 3 blinds. And then you have that same option except where it'll be put together for you and you just have to plug it in and connect it to OpenHab. All right, so let's just say we want a DIY kit. And then also you can select the shape of your blinds rod because in the rod, inside the blinds, there's a rod and that's what opens and closes the blinds. So here you can choose which one you have. So I have a square one, add to bag. Oh, and the more blinds controls you get, the cheaper they become. Go to checkout. I don't know, man. It works for me. You say you only get recommended products. I would say refresh the page. Or maybe you have some kind of extension that's blocking my store. I mean, if you have ad block, that's probably why you can't access it. I don't know. Maybe you have some kind of extension. Okay, because in fact, okay, because in fact I cheated a bit and took 2 different of your code, mixed them, and I got it to work, but it's not reliable. What 2 code did you mix together, Nico? Which provider do you use for your website? I use Duda. For MK-SmartHouse, I use Duda, and then for Smart House Society, I use Shopify. All right, enough promo. Let's go back. All right. Shout out to Aaron W for placing an order on the store. If you guys place an order, you will also get a shout out. To shout out to you, Aaron. Aaron Warnke. I hope I say your last name right. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. Especially now because I have some projects that I'm trying to get out to you guys, but I can't because funds are a little limited right now. So every order helps. So thank you so much, Aaron. I very much appreciate it. And also, if you guys want to donate, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and hit donate over on MK-SmartHouse.com. Thank you. And uh, I use a basic ESP with the relays, so I use the switchable tag. I'm going to email you and try to explain it in email. Nico, can you go on the forum so that way, that's the thing that I like about the forum. If one person has a question, then it's answered. So if somebody else has the same question as you, who was it? Nico, then they'll be answered too, and I don't have to reply to a bunch of emails. Because before I had the forum, I had so many emails, and then I released the forum, and then people were asking there, and other people were helping out other people, and it just became an awesome community. Like when I go on the MK-SmartHouse forum, and when my website designer goes on the forum, we're all just like, wow, this is going really good. So Nico, please ask it on the forum, and I'll get back to you there, or somebody else will, and they'll help you out. Because Coffee Headache, he's a big person on the forum. Jacob, who else is a big person on the forum? Who was the guy last time?
I'll check.
There's one other person that we know that, well, not that we know, but like that's always on the forum. And all right, let's see here. Nico, I took sprinkler system and the door sensor. If I remember properly, that was a while ago. Yeah, so the two ones that I told you. All right. If you put it on the forum, I'll help you out. I just gotta write it down to remember. Forum. Nico.
Z-Bot.
Who is it?
Z-Bot473.
Shout out to ZBot473. You are also on the forum. You're very active, so thank you very much to you. All right, Nico, you're gonna ask on the forum. All right, shout out to you, Aaron, again. Alrighty, guys. Any more questions? You guys have any more questions on the firmware too? Do you? Oh, we got another order on. All right, who are we gonna get? Oh, shout out to Aaron on here too. Damn, Aaron, thank you so much for you put in an order. You put in an order. Thank you so much, man. Wait, did you? Hold on. Oh, okay, I got you. Sorry, the notification duplicated. But still, thank you. Let's see here. What else? Let's see here. How many of you guys use Sonoffs? That's my question, because I see a lot of people ask, oh, Sonoff, how do you use that? How do you connect it? I mean, I did do a video on the Sonoff Dual, and I made a power strip out of that. I am waiting for V2. Yogesh, what do you mean you're waiting on V2? Will you have more regular YouTube upload, not including these style videos? What do you mean these style of videos? Do you mean like live streams? This is the first live stream I ever had, so I have other types of videos. I have complete guides, so I show you exactly how to do, for example, connect a Google Home to your OpenApp system, how to connect an Amazon Echo to your system, basically everything to do with the smart home I talk about on my channel. I cover a wide range of devices, softwares, topics. All right, Chad, you use a Sonoff. Which Sonoff do you use? Has anybody used the Sonoff, the light switch one? I think I'm gonna look at that one and see if that one's good. Any plans on add battery / solar panel to your blinds controller? Soon. I want to start using Sonoff, but I can't find any good tutorials. Interesting you say that, because I will have a tutorial using the Sonoff Basic. I like that one because it's just an ESP with a relay and a button. So my plan with this, so this one has a Sonoff inside it. It has the Sonoff Basic inside it. I'm also going to have a button on the outside so you can control it. But my point with this is you have a waterproof controller. So I'm going to use this for my Christmas lights. And so I'll have a complete video on this, but you'll be able to control it, and I'll do a complete guide on it so you'll be able to understand Sonoff. Okay. Tiago says, once again, congratulations for your work. Thank you. I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I hope it helps a lot of people. I just ordered a light switch off Sonoff just to test it. Alright. I think I'm going to get one too eventually. Because the Wemos are great, but they're expensive. And until I make my own device, which I don't know when I'm going to do, because that one requires quite a bit of engineering. But maybe the Sonoff light switch would be a good idea instead of making something else, because it's already made and it's pretty cheap, I think. Maybe put some custom firmware on it, make it work with OpenHab. Maybe. Got to go. I will post in the week on the forum. Carry on. You're doing great. Thank you, Nico. Appreciate it. Ray says, hi, Matt. Any plan on implementing PIR to activate a device when a sensor senses someone's near to it? So the thing with PIR, I have played around with PIR. The only thing is it's not, you can't have an ESP close to it. Because the ESP is Wi-Fi, it somehow messes up with the PIR. Like, I have prototypes of working with the ESP and the PIR. I made a custom board and everything. But since it's Wi-Fi, it sends false alerts, so it's not accurate. And I didn't like how not accurate it was. I don't know how all these other companies do it and how all these people do it. Maybe they use wires and they separate it. Because the thing is, the ESP provides interference for the PIR, so it's not reliable. But maybe I'll figure something out. Or maybe somebody else has figured something out and they know how to prevent the interference. Let me know. That is the exact Sonoff I want to start using. Good. I'm glad. You'll be able to follow along. I use Sonoff, installed Test Moda, and will be using with OpenHab. That's nice. Nice. Good job. Personally, I like writing my own firmware, but Tasmoda, I feel I've heard good things about it, so good job. Oh man, I should probably turn this off. Okay, I've been a subscriber for a while. Was just wondering if the guides would be more frequent. If your ideas are ready, don't want to rush you. I said these style of videos because you asked if it was good. Okay. The thing with these videos, and I think I might be, I don't know what type of format of videos you guys like. Right now, what I've been doing is I write out a script, and then I sit in front of the camera, and then I read the script, and then I put B-roll over it of like doing the actual things. That one takes a lot of time to produce, and it's takes a lot of time to produce. I don't know. I might be switching up the style where it's faster and easier for me to produce, where I record as I do it. So I'll have like the camera like you guys here, and I'll be like, all right, guys, now we're going to add this and this to the items file. And then we do it like on the screen. So that way there's not two clips. It's just all one thing. The thing is, I won't write a script. I'll just do it on the fly. So it won't be as well thought out, but it'll be there. Get what I'm saying? So would you guys prefer like a script and it's all there, or more videos and me showing you how to do it? I feel like showing you how to do it would also be more fun to edit. I don't know. We'll see. I have 3 gang Sonoff switches. Chad said that. Chad, how have those been working, and then are you running a custom firmware on it? And do you have it working with OpenHab, or are you using the stock firmware that come with it? Let me know. I'm curious. In my country, it is illegal to mess with electrical work in your house unless you are a certified electrician. Eskil, what country are you from again? I don't remember. Chad, you can get singles from AliExpress for 5, 3 gang for $20. Dang, that is a good deal. Tiago says, I like it how you do it. Okay. Norway. Yeah, check out BK Hobby. Oh, I know BK Hobby. Like I've seen his channel. He has good videos. He made the PIR sensor work with the ESP8266. Eskil said, oh, you said Norway. All right. So do you have to hire an electrician to change? Even for a light switch, you have to have an electrician to do it? Huh. That's interesting. I like the current style, short and accurate. I mean, if I have the camera here and I'm doing it as I'm doing, like, say I have the camera here and I'm changing the items file, it'll still be accurate. I'll show you how to do it. It's just the wording. I'll probably repeat words here and there. So it won't be like when I do the script, I read it over and make sure nothing is duplicated. So maybe some things will be duplicated, worded differently. I still think they would be good. Hey, I'll try one out after I finish all these V2 firmware. Since I have the scripts written for all the V2s, I'm going to still keep it with my current style. But for future videos, I might try one time doing a different style. We'll see. I'm using PIR sensor with OpenHab with Node MCU. PIR sensor and Node MCU are closer. Only it's working fine. It's not giving any false trigger. Yogesh, I know you have my email. You email me. Can you send me a picture of how your setup looks? I'm curious. Chad said, gotta go. Awesome information today. Look forward to your next vids and live chat. Thank you, Chad. Very much. Thank you for being here and being interactive too. Eskil said, we have 240 grid, so it's a bit more dangerous than 120. Okay. So even if you wanted to do your own, like, plug in a Sonoff, that would be too much voltage, right? I don't know what they're rated at. Kenneth says, I live in Norway too, and I mess with the electrical. We're just going to assume here that Kenneth is a certified electrician for his sake. All right, Fresh City said, hey man, last time, what should I see under USB to show proper port on my Mac? I don't see CH430. Are you talking about system information? You should see a serial converter. Like, it should say serial on it. Do you also have V2 firmware as a INO file? We can read it. As of right now, no. There's a couple things that I need to clean up to make it presentable. I did it enough so that way I can do a bin file, because the bin file you can't access the INO file from. But in terms of making it to the public, there's a couple things I need to change. Willing to see a new style, whatever it is, a middle ground for ease for you and great for us. Thank you, Jimmy Jones. I appreciate that. Fresh City said, I don't think the driver is installed correctly. Testing all solder connection is something with me and computer driver. Maybe. I don't know, man. Interesting. Fresh City. Is something with me, computer driver. Let's see here. So you say you plug it in and it doesn't recognize it. I know I've had I've had problems in the past with the CH430 drivers, and that's been complicated. I would say, are you using an external hub is my next question. And has it worked before? Is it something that came out, or is this a new thing? Because I would say if you have a hub, try directly plugging into your computer. That's one thing, because power has been iffy. And make sure you're using a good USB cable. That's another thing I found. Eskel said you can mess with the mains in the house. It has to go via plug wall like a normal tabletop lamp. Okay. Under my system info, I have USB 2.0 serial, but I don't know that is CH430. Could it be possibly my vinyl plotter? What's a vinyl plotter? Make a tutorial 16 amps relay circuit with ESP controlling heater. With the heater and a relay, are you meaning turn off like a? Is this like a central heater or like a thermostat? Because one of my plans was to do like a Nest type thing, like a DIY Nest thermostat, so you can control it from Wi-Fi. You have like a touchscreen and stuff. That was one of my plans, but I don't know. What are you? How would the device work? And I'm talking to Yogesh again. Fresh City said no hub, direct connection to computer. Okay. Fresh City. Let's see here. So you plug it in, and it's not detecting. Do you have access to any Windows computers? Because I'm curious to see if the Arduino works. That's another thing. Make sure that it works. And you check the connections. Alright. Kenneth, Sonoff have input AC 90 to 250, so it is safe to use in Norway. Okay. Yes, and you're allowed to via plug. Nest idea would be great, says Jimmy Jones. I mean, right now I have basic, like, Honeywell thermostats that are not Wi-Fi. They're not that smart. I mean, it'd be cool to control the temperature from here. Because that's another thing with the smart home industry. It's a high cost entry barrier. Like, everything is just so expensive. What a Nest thermostat is $200 for a thermostat, really? 200? I think it's 200. Probably is. And then like Ring cameras are $300 for their floodlights, or $250. Like, all these things are so expensive, and it just annoys me. You're not gonna have more people in the smart home industry if you have that high cost barrier. That's the reason, like, my stuff, it's $20, $30. Like, I'm trying to have this cheap so that way everyone can have it, and everyone can have an easier life and enjoy the stuff. All right, vinyl plotter is a cutter for cutting vinyls. Also, I mean, if you think it's the vinyl cutter, then try unplugging it, if that's possible. Yeah, I would say unplug everything from your computer. See if it even detects the Arduino. I have a Windows laptop. I can try that. Yes, try it, because with the CH430 drivers, I believe on Windows you don't have to install them. They already come installed. Can you explain how to make a ruler? Tell me how we can configure a push button to make a relay on when we are pushing the button on the site map. All right, Tiago, isn't that the same? Were you the one that asked that, or did Nico ask that? Because I think Nico asked a similar question. So if Nico did ask the question, check the forum. See if he asked the same question. And if so, then just comment underneath it and be like, I have the same question. Forum.mksmarthouse.com. Ecobee is $329 in Canada. Exactly. See, all these things are so expensive. Why? Like, I know I've been working on like these smart home devices, and I know how much things cost, and they have an insane markup on all of this. Gotta go. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to the new vid. Next project, that was said by Esco. Kenneth says, my next project is to make my version of MK Power Strip with Sonoff Dual. Nice. Actually, the thing with this, I need to actually make a version 2 file for the Sonoff. Because that's one of the things that I've noticed in the Sonoff Dual. If you're making a power strip like that, Kenneth, did you already order the Dual? If so, I'm making a power strip, and I think it's better than the Sonoff Dual because you can control 3 outlets. Actually, I have here's a prototype PCB for you guys. It has no markings or anything, but what it's going to be, the power strip, it's going to have 3 relays. You input 5 volts, you input AC, and you can control AC to each one of those 3 relays. So it's how I'm powering my desk right now. I can control my monitors. I can control my computer. I can control the speakers and stuff, all from the power strip, and because I have 3 gangs. So I have 6 total outlets, and each 2 outlet is controlled. So I would say if you didn't buy stuff yet, wait for the power strip. On my schedule, it's released. I'm going to release it starting September 3rd. So if you want to wait, I mean, if not, you can play around with the Sonoff Dual. The only thing with the Sonoff Dual is not only it only has 2 controls, and depending on what firmware you go with, there's a delay to control the relays because the relays are driven from an external GPIO controller. So there is a little bit of a delay, and it's not always precise. And that's one of the problems that I have with my Sonoff Dual. Right now, it's connected to my 3D printer and the server connected to the 3D printer because I have Octoprint. If you guys want videos on that, let me know. I did not. Thanks. Okay. I have ordered 2 of Sonoff Dual. Okay. Well, then, yeah, you can do it. I'll make a version 2 of the firmware if you want to use mine, or you can use Tasmota or ESP Easy, your choice. When I unplug USB devices, my plotter, my label printer, they don't. Oh, you have to refresh system info. There's a refresh button. It's not live, so you have to hit the refresh button. Maybe I'll order power strip from you. How much does shipping cost? Where are you again? I think you said you were from Norway as well, because you said you were an electrician too, right? If it's to Norway, I don't remember how much shipping is. I don't remember. You can go to my website now and go to the checkout and type in your address, and it'll tell you how much shipping is. It should weigh about as much as a sprinkler system. So add a sprinkler system to your cart, go to the checkout, type in your address, and then it will tell you how much shipping would be if you had a power strip. Wow, this, all right. All right, guys, I think I'm starting to get a little starting to get a little bit hungry, so I gotta go eat lunch. This has been an awesome live stream. I've had so much fun with you guys. The coupon codes are right here. If you want to support my channel, you can go to MK-SmartHouse.com/shop or Smart House Society. Give you guys a little bit of a discount. You can also donate. It's at the bottom of the page. Like this video. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, but you guys are probably subscribed. All right. Actually, I should probably do my normal outro. All right, let's see. That concludes this live stream. In the description, you'll find links to all the parts and devices used in the video, as well as links to mksmarthouse.com/shop, where I have a wide range of kits that you can put together. All right, if you found this video helpful, click that like button, and if you are a smart home enthusiast, you belong in this channel, so hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, or join the community over at mksmarthouse.com/forum. Goodbye. All right. See you guys.